At the center of the latest fight between Congress and the Trump administration is the latter's decision not to allow United States Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, to appear before a closed-door hearing Tuesday. Sondland is mentioned in the original whistleblower complaint that led to the impeachment inquiry and is seen as a key witness to the administration's dealings with Ukraine.
Whatever we can do.
At the center of the complaint is an allegation that President Trump used a telephone call to urge Ukraine's new president, Volodymyr Zelensky, to investigate Democratic political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden. The complaint also raises concerns that a brief suspension of military aid to Ukraine at the direction of the White House and just before the call between the two presidents was suspicious.
The failure to produce this witness, the failure to produce these documents, we consider yet additional strong evidence of obstruction of the constitutional functions of Congress, a co-equal branch of government. This is one of the few impeachment inquiries in the history of our country. It goes to the core of whether the president abused his office to seek political help in his re-election campaign, and did so to the detriment of our nation's security.
Ambassador Sondland's attorney indicated in a statement that his client was ready and willing to testify, but was blocked by the State Department from doing so.
We are also aware that the ambassador has text messages or emails on a personal device which have been provided to the State Department, although we have requested those from the ambassador, and the State Department is withholding those messages as well. Those messages are also deeply relevant to this investigation and the impeachment inquiry. We know from those text messages that diplomatic personnel raised a concern with him that military assistance was being withheld to secure help from Ukraine in the president's re-election campaign.
Well, thank you very much, everybody.
President Trump tweeted earlier that he'd love for Ambassador Sondland to testify, but that he'd be doing so before a totally compromised kangaroo court.
You can't impeach a president for doing a great job. You can't impeach a president for having the lowest and best unemployment numbers that we've had in 51 years. You can't impeach a president for tax cuts and regulation cuts and creating, and even the ambassador would say, the strongest economy in the world. We have the strongest economy in the world. This is a scam, and the people are wise to it. And that's why my polls went up. I think they said 17 points in the last 2 or 3 days. I've never had that one.
Contrary to the president's words, his poll numbers have remained largely unchanged at around 41% approval with 53% disapproval. What is clear from these latest developments is that the Trump administration is prepared to slow walk any cooperation with the impeachment inquiry by, for example, refusing to hand over documents or blocking witnesses just hours before testimony was due to be heard. Democrats have warned that attempts to interfere with their probe would be viewed as obstruction, a charge they consider as grounds for impeaching the president. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.